So next we will have our CILT Malaysia Sabah Section Chairperson, Puan Siti Noraiza Azizan, to also give us a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Dr. O, for the kind introduction, and Tuan President CILT Malaysia, Tuan Haji Ramli, and our distinguished panelists from the respective government agencies, Tuan Superintendent Muhammad Zamzuri from PDRM, Dr. Nir Malkor from KK Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, and Madam Janet David from JPJ. So, and all the other participants of this session today. So, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, on behalf of CILT Sabah Section, I welcome all of you to the topic of addressing safety and health awareness to women drivers, elderly and expectant mothers. First of all, let me just briefly introduce CILT Sabah Section. Basically, CILT is the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, better known as CILT. It's a professional body that sets standards for accredited qualification and examination. And CILT Sabah Section basically established to unite and as the platform for discussing all these issues in terms of transport and logistic community, in particular for Sabah. And this we have actually about 100 participants, and we really hope that with awareness of the CILT program and so forth, there will be many other that interested to join our CILT. So WILAT is actually another special section under the umbrella of CILT, and WILAT is a platform where all the women in the logistic and transport industry can stand together under one banner, united in purpose and commitment. So basically, one of our objectives under the CILT Sabah Section is actually to have a series of webinars and workshops focusing on a specific logistics sectors, a skill set enhancement, awareness, as well as contemporary issues, in particular issues that we are facing here in Sabah. And not only webinars, but also other activities concerning with logistics and also CSR program. So we intend to work with the government agencies, academics, and also NGOs for discussion of relevant issues in logistics and transport. So far, our first webinar organized by CILT Sabah Section for this time is to raise awareness about the importance of safety among women drivers. So we hope that this webinar today can address this subject and hope to raise public awareness. And yes, we, with all our distinguished panelists that will be participating, and we hope that this webinar today, all the participants can have a fruitful sessions. So on behalf of the organizers, again, we would like to thank you, the panelists, and all the participants that is participating in this webinar today. And yes, see you again in the next webinar. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Puan Siti, for the very kind introduction of both CILTM Sabah Section, as well as a brief introduction to the topic. Today, we assemble for you a truly distinguished panel of 3 speakers, and they are all from the very relevant government agencies, which could perhaps shed some light as to how to go forward with this important topic. We have with us Superintendent Muhammad Zamzuri bin Muhammad Isa. He is the head of Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department, the Sabah contingent of the Police Diraja Malaysia. We also have Dr. Nirmal Kaur, who is a public health specialist and the Principal Assistant Director of the Sabah Health Department. And last but not least, we have Madam Janet David, who is the head of the safety unit in JPJ Sabah. So we will have each of our speakers giving presentations of approximately for about 15 minutes each. If they would like to use PowerPoints, perhaps they could use the share screen button, the green button at the bottom. So afterwards, there will be a Q&A answers. I prepare some questions, but of course, priorities will be given by questions raised by our participants. I'm sure a lot of us are very anxious to know how to advise some of these drivers as to how to best proceed to drive safely in difficult conditions. So I would like to first invite Superintendent Muhammad Zamzuri to give his presentation. I understand he has some PowerPoint, so please go ahead, Superintendent Zamzuri.
Thank you, Dr. A. Tuan Haji Ramli Amir, Presiden The Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport Malaysia. Puan Siti Nuraisyah Haizan, CILT Chair Sabah Section. Dr. Oi Esun sebagai Vice Chair CILT Sabah Section. Dan sahabat saya Puan Janet David, Head Safety Unit Road Transport Department Malaysia. So terima kasih bagi pihak PIDRIS Sabah amnya dan khususnya dan PIDRIS Malaysia khasnya. Saya mewakili Pesuruhjaya Polis Sabah untuk mewakili beliau pada pagi ini. Saya adalah Superintendent Muhammad Zamzuri bin Muhammad Isa, iaitu Ketua Jabatan Siasatan dan Penguasaan Trafik Sabah. Jadi terutamanya saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada kerana diberi kesempatan program pada pagi ini. Saya lebih suka menunjukkan statistik kemalangan yang berlaku di Malaysia, di Sabah keseluruhannya, dan kemudian baru saya khususkan kepada statistik kemalangan untuk warga emas dan juga yang melibatkan wanita, sebab pagi ini saya fahamkan tumpuan kita kepada warga emas dan juga wanita. So jika kita lihat kepada statistik kemalangan bagi tahun 2014 sehingga 2020, jika tuan-tuan lihat kemalangan yang kita buat statistik daripada 2014, buyer kita buat 2014, 2015, 2014 kemalangan maut kita lihat melibatkan 384 kes kemalangan maut di Sabah. Ini saya bentangkan statistik hanya untuk di Sabah saja. Orang. 2015 menurun kemalangan maut ini menjadi 343, 2016 338, 2017 315. 2018 280, 2019 naik balik jadi 258, dan 2020 statistik menurun, angka kematian menurun menjadi 183 jumlah kemalangan maut yang melibatkan seramai 206 yang maut. Jadi kita lihat pada statistik, mungkin 2020 ni lebih kepada kita mengalami pandemik COVID-19. Itu sebabnya kemungkinan besar ramai yang tak keluar rumah dan sebagainya, dan ini salah satu punca yang melibatkan angka ni susut jadi 183. Begitu juga dengan Januari hingga Februari, kita lihat jumlah kemalangan maut adalah sebanyak 227. Saya bacakan hanya maut saja. manakala kemalangan parah, ringan dan rosak ni tuan-tuan boleh lihat sendirilah. Jadi ini sebenarnya adalah salah satu daripada amaran yang mana kita patut peringatkan diri kita balik akan angka-angka ini yang mana boleh menjadi apa orang kata, semangat kepada kita untuk memastikan kita memandu dengan cara berhemah dan mengikut undang-undang yang sedia ada. Next. Ini adalah kategori pengguna kemalangan maut. Jika tuan-tuan lihat, kita telah pecahkan beberapa kategori yang melibatkan pejalan kaki, penunggang atau pembonceng motosikal, pemandu, penumpang motorkar, pemandu, penumpang four-wheel drive. Kita kelaskan four-wheel drive sebab di Sabah ni banyak kenderaan four-wheel drive. So kita khaskan four-wheel drive ni. Pemandu dan juga penumpang lori, penunggang, pembonceng, basikal, pemandu, penumpang dan lain-lain. Jika kita lihat kepada kategori-kategori ini, dapat kita pecahkan daripada 2014 hingga 2020. Jadi kita nampak di sini sebagai contoh 2014, kategori mana yang banyak melibatkan kemalangan maut. Kita lihat penunggang motosikal dan juga pembonceng motosikal. 2015 kita lihat yang sama juga. 2017 yang sama, 2018 yang sama, 2019 yang sama dan 2020 juga sama. So that's why PDRM amat tegas dan tumpuan kita lebih kepada tumpuan penguatkuasaan kita lebih kepada penunggang dan pembonceng motosikal. Jika tuan-tuan lihat banyak operasi-operasi dijalankan, motosikal tidak terlepas. Ini adalah kategori pengguna kemalangan cedera parah. Cedera parah ni kita klasifikasikan sebagai contohnya yang patah, yang itu kita kategorikan sebagai cedera parah. Dan kita pecahkan juga seperti mana yang kita pecahkan kemalangan maut tadi, pejalan kaki, penunggang, pembonceng motosikal, pemandu dan sebagainya lah. Jadi kita lihat untuk cedera parah pun masih juga penunggang dan juga pembonceng motosikal high ranking lah kiranya, paling tinggi yang terlibat. Yang ini kita lihat kepada kategori pengguna kemalangan untuk cedera ringan daripada tahun 2014 hingga 2020. Sehinggalah Februari 2021. Kita lihat penunggang motosikal dan juga pembonceng masih lagi di tempat pertama. Januari hingga Februari 20 kemalangan yang berlaku melibatkan cedera. Statistik yang kita kelaskan, statistik kemalangan yang melibatkan wanita. Kita lihat pada tahun 2020, maut ada 48 kes yang melibatkan wanita. Yang mana kita lihat di bawah tu ada kategori pengguna tu, wanita tu 48 tu daripada mana? Pejalan kaki 21 orang, pemandu 3 orang, penumpang 24 orang. Jumlahnya semula sekali adalah 48. Juga maut untuk 2021, tahun 2021, Januari hingga Februari, ada 5 kes sudah. Pejalan yang mana pecahannya adalah pejalan kaki 2, pemandu 1, penumpang 2. Jumlah semua sekali adalah 5 orang. Pecahan kedua lah kita lihat kepada cedera parah. Untuk tahun 2020, ada 39 kes dilaporkan untuk kes cedera parah, yang mana pecahan dia adalah pejalan kaki 3 orang, pemandu 20. Sementara Januari hingga Februari 2021, 8 kes keseluruhannya, pemandu 2, penumpang 6. So daripada sini kita boleh lihatlah siapa saja yang memandu dan juga menunggang, sama ada penumpang ataupun pembonceng, sama-sama kena lihat balik statistik ni. Kita lihat dan kita kaji adalah adakah kita memandu ataupun menunggang dengan cara yang betul ataupun tidak. Kerana nahas ini boleh berlaku di mana-mana saja. Walaupun kita peka dan alert, kadang-kadang bukan kemalangan ni bukan berlaku atas kesalahan kita. Kadang-kadang orang lain. Jadi orang tu kena fikirlah. Ini adalah statistik kemalangan yang melibatkan warga tua. Kita panggil yang kita tapi kita ambil kategori 65 tahun ke atas bagi tahun 2020 ada satu kes saja. So tak banyak sangat di Sabah ni. So yang satu kes ni pun pejalan kaki. Jalan kaki ni yang saya ingat dia ni seberang jalan ni, menyeberang jalan dan dilanggar. Dan Januari hingga Februari tahun 2021 ni ada satu kes juga. Sama juga tu, pejalan kaki. So yang melibatkan pemandu dan juga penunggang tiada. Ini adalah statistik kemalangan yang melibatkan wanita mengandung. Saya kategorikan juga wanita mengandung. Untuk tahun 2020 dan hingga 2021 ni memang tak ada statistik yang kita boleh tunjukkan di sini. So itu saja daripada pihak trafik. Kita hanya tunggulah soalan-soalan sekiranya ada nanti. Terima kasih.
Well, thank you, Superintendent Zamzuri, who gave us a very precise summary of the various traffic fatalities which occurred in Sabah over the past few years. I noticed, for example, the fatalities involving motorcycles. They are very high indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just came into the room, sorry, I'm very familiar with Clubhouse, who just came onto the webinar, you may raise your questions either by writing them on the Q&A pad. There's a Q&A button at the bottom, or you can even write them on the chat button there. I will be monitoring both. Later on, I will give your questions priorities in asking all our distinguished speakers. So next we have Dr. Nirmal Kaul, who is a public health specialist and the principal assistant director of the Sabah Health Department, to share with us her perspective. Dr. Nirmal, please. You need to unmute your button first. Yeah, you need to unmute yourself. Yep.
Sorry, good morning. I share my screen, yeah? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, very good morning to Tuan Haji Ramli, President CILTM Malaysia, Madam Siti Nur Aisyah Azizan, Chairperson CILTM Sabah Branch, to the moderator Dr. Ooi, and my colleagues, speakers, Superintendent Muhammad Zamzuri and Madam Janet. This morning, myself, Dr. Nirmal, I'm from Sabah Health Department. So I'm actually in charge of NCD. NCD stands for non-communicable disease. Basically, my talk is in general for all women and even for men, okay, related to health. Later on during the discussion, we will go into the questions which I've prepared the answers. Is it okay, Dr. Ooi? Because mine is in general for all,
No
for
problem.
everyone. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
carry on.
Okay, please do.
Okay. Okay, this one I would like to share some risk factors for penyakit tidak berjangkit. In Malay is penyakit tidak berjangkit. The Malay English version is non-communicable disease. Okay, we have certain risk factors which contribute to this disease. at the end of the day. So we have modifiable risk factors which is within our control. Okay, unhealthy diet, tobacco use, alcohol, stress, physical inactivity, these are all within our control. If we control these risk factors, we might not get the disease at the end of the day. But there are certain non-modifiable risk factors like age. Due to our increasing age, we are prone for certain diseases like dementia. Okay, sex. Certain diseases are more common in male and certain are more in female. Ethnicity and also hereditary. So these things we can't control. But what we can control are the modifiable risk factors. If we don't control these modifiable risk factors, this await us. These are called immediate risk factors, which obesity, which is related to unhealthy diet, raised blood pressure, which is also all related to all these modifiable risk factors, especially tobacco use, and also raised glucose, abnormal blood lipids. Okay, and if we still don't control these immediate risk factors, what awaits us at the end of the day is stroke. We can get stroke, we can get heart disease, diabetes, all sorts of cancers, lung disease, and hypertension. So here I would like to show lifestyle. Lifestyle which we can control, lifestyle like smoking, obesity, stress, our blood pressure, alcohol intake, drug use. This contributes 51% of the risk factor for us to develop a disease. Lifestyle. So if we can control, we can a healthy lifestyle, we might not get the disease at the end of the day. So it's 50%. Depends. Diseases are related to our unhealthy lifestyle. So here I would like to show you 10 causes of admissions to hospitals in government hospitals and private hospitals. If you plus all what I've these red arrows here, if we plus all these, 50% of the admissions to government and private hospitals is related to non-communicable disease. Same goes to deaths happening in government hospitals and private hospitals. If we plus all this one in red arrows, circulatory system is mostly on heart disease and blood pressure. We plus all these, 50% also causes of death in general hospitals and private hospital in Malaysia is due to non-communicable disease, which is related to our unhealthy lifestyle. So just to show, just to compare, in the 1990s, our TVs were, huge, heavy, but the public, we men and women were healthy. Because everything we have to do manually. Unlike in the 20th centuries, where the TV is so slim, technology has improved a lot. But we, the human being, are getting lazier, getting more obese, because everything is remote control. Even we on our TV by remote. Those days we have to walk to the TV and press the button there. So technology is really overcoming. The public is getting more disease, getting sick day by day, but our technology is improving. So what are the complications for overweight, obesity and overweight? These are all the diseases can occur to us if we are obese. That's heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, cancer, gallbladder disease. And in women, it can cause infertility. Yeah, 1 in 2 Malaysians are obese. Why we are obese? Because of all this unhealthy lifestyle. Okay, we are supposed, this is also tempting, but we should opt for more healthier food. More of cereals, but cereals also you have to read, reading what nutritional labels while buying, before buying is very important. Make sure it contains the least sugar. Okay, this all is goreng, curry, fried stuff, all are so tempting. But what we should supposed to be eating is more of steam, couscous, more of soup kind of things. Okay, but if we still, our diet is unhealthy, what awaits us at the end of the day? Heart disease, diabetes, hypertension. Okay, this can occur in any age. So obesity, obesity meningkat risiko of, I've mentioned earlier, all these diseases. Okay, here I would like to show some premature deaths in Sabah, which is related to non-communicable disease. Okay, females slightly lower compared to males. But these are premature deaths occurring at between 30 to 69 are considered premature deaths. 1/3 of the deaths are premature, which is preventable. Which if we live a healthy lifestyle, 1/3 of the deaths are preventable. Okay, this is our ideal weight lah. We should aim for BMI between 18.5 to 24.9. If you are overweight, try our best. But it takes time. Overweight, obese, if you convert to normal weight, it can take 6 months, it can take 1 year. But we have to try our best. Okay. Sorry, these are some of the sign and symptom if you for diabetes lah. You frequent feel like drinking thirsty, frequent buang kerap, buang air kecil. You feel very tired. You lose weight because the fat is been used to convert into energy. But some people, they are so happy, wow, I eat a lot, but I still lose weight. This is unhealthy weight loss. You need to go and check your sugar level, please. It's not healthy. You need to go and check your sugar level. Or if you have any luka or kudis, it takes a long time to recover. It's another sign you might be having diabetes. And you have any itchiness, the gatal terutama di bahagian kemaluan, you need to go and check your sugar level. These are some of the signs and symptoms that you might be having diabetes. Okay, this is our sugar level. This is fasting. 5.6 is fasting. If you fast and you check your sugar level, if it's less than 5.6, good, well controlled. You just need to do it yearly. But if it's more than 5.6, you need to go to the nearest clinic kesihatan to do further tests to confirm whether you are a diabetes or not. Okay, what are the complications? Oh, sorry, Okay, these are the complications of diabetes: heart disease, kerosakan buah pinggang, stroke, cataract. Those who have diabetes will develop cataract at a younger age. So you need to go and replace your kanta. Diabetic retinopathy, where the blood vessels in our eye give way. You need to go for laser treatment. And I'm sure you've come across people complaining of numbness in the foot, in the hand. This because of the blood vessels, not enough blood going to the periphery will cause all this numbness, and they can't feel the floor, especially in the morning. And then if there's a nail on the floor, it might just prick them, and this will cause all these kind of wounds. And this is actually very bad stage. You have to go for amputation. Okay, these are signs and symptoms of hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. So if elderly women, a man, or even a pregnant mother, if she has diabetes, if you develop this kind of symptoms, if your sugar levels are not controlled, you develop this kind of symptoms while you're driving, is very, very dangerous. You're prone to meet with an accident. So if anyone has these symptoms while driving, please park your car at the side, ask for help. Especially pregnant mothers and elderly, you should have your doctors or the clinic where you go for checkups, their hand number in your handphone. Or you call, if you can't, you call your family members to say that you are not well, you have parked your car in so and so place, you need help. Okay, I am sure you even can call the police that you need help, you have already parked your car at the site. So these symptoms, if you have these symptoms, that shows your sugar levels are not controlled. So please listen to your doctor. Whatever advice given to your by the doctor that you must take your medication regularly, please do so. And the timing is important. Don't become your own doctors. No, I'm not going to take this medication. I prefer direct selling products. I prefer this jamu, I prefer that jamu. There are a lot of direct selling products in the market for all sorts of diseases. They just says that they have approval from ministry, but no. Please, is medical evidence that if you had confirmed diabetes, hypertension, you need to take medicine lifelong. You can reduce the dose if your levels are controlled, but there's no such thing as stop medication. If you have these symptoms, that shows your disease is not controlled. So please, while driving, you have these things, you need to take the rest. Okay, hypertension, if it's your BP is more than 140/90, but this is not by one reading. You need to read 2 or more readings. We will monitor your level. If it's confirmed 140, above 140/90, then confirm you have high blood pressure and you need medication. So according to National Health Mobility Survey, the latest we had in 2019, 30% of Malaysians have high blood pressure, and sad to say 50% of them didn't know they had high blood. While the study, then only they came to know they actually have high blood. That means they have never gone to the nearest clinic to check their blood pressure. By the way, this blood pressure machine, right? It's not expensive. It's only 100 plus. It's good to have one in the house, especially those who have hypertension, and monitor your blood pressure in the house. And everyone can buy expensive handphones. Why not a blood pressure monitoring gadget in the house, one? And also those who have diabetes, you should have a glucometer in the house, especially if you are on insulin. Pregnant mothers, if most probably you will go on insulin for your pregnancy, you should have a glucometer in the house to check. Okay, these are the same risk factors to develop high blood. Okay, same thing. These are the sign and symptom. Headache, sakit tengkuk at the back of the neck. This is classical symptom for a high blood. If you have this, most likely you have high blood. You need to go and check with your doctor, and most probably you have to go on medication. While driving, if you have some blurring of vision, it's dangerous. It will affect your driving. You can have a breathing problem. You can have chest pain if your blood pressure is not controlled. What if this happens during driving? It's very dangerous. Okay, another thing is cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol. If our cholesterol level is high in our body, it goes and deposits within the artery lumen. So it narrows the lumen, and what happens? Heart attack at the end of the day. Okay, as I've mentioned earlier, if you have confirmed diabetes, hypertension, you need to go and take medicine. But if you're there are also non-pharmacological ways, intervention, which will also help to make our disease better controlled. So that is healthy eating, stop smoking. In Sabah, we can't say no alcohol. Okay, in Sabah, we have to say reduce your alcohol intake. Because it's part of their the custom here, they have to take alcohol. Okay, fine. If you tell them no alcohol, that's it. They won't come back to you anymore. Reduce. Don't take alcohol too much. You should know your standard of alcohol intake. Okay, and regular exercise. What is given in the guidelines is 30 minutes per day for 5 days a week. That is to keep yourself healthy. If you need to lose weight, you need to do more, at least 45 minutes and more vigorous exercise. Okay, this is what are some of the intervention for pemakanan sihat. I'm sure you heard about suku-suku separuh. This is the healthy Malaysian plate. It's here. This picture is everywhere in the FB. Suku-suku separuh. So your rice should be here. 1/3 rice, 1/3 is your protein, and half is vegetables and fruits. Okay, mengurangkan, take less sugar. During this MCO, many of them have become bakers, sitting working from home. Even the children have learned how to bake. So limit your sugar intake and also limit salt intake. that when we eat, that should never we should not have salt, add on salt after while we are eating. Should not add any more soya sauce while we are eating. Okay, so we have to reduce, cut down our salt intake, and always drink lots of plain water. 6 to 8 glasses of plain water, not soda drink. 1 can of Coca-Cola contains 6 to 7 teaspoons of sugar. It is tasty, but at the end of the day, is sugar. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Malaysian healthy plate. 1/3 is our rice. Is basically our starch, like can be mee hoon rice, and 1/3 is our meat or poultry product, and this is half should be vegetable and fruits. So we need to exercise, and our workout is actually only 4% of our day. So there's no excuse. We have to do some exercise. Brisk walking. The slogan by Ministry of Health is 10,000 steps per day. If not straight away 10,000, at least we aim 6,000 for a month. The coming month we try to increase to 8,000, then 10,000 to keep us healthy. Okay, these are some of the slogans, advertisement by Ministry of Health, stop smoking, avoid diabetes, kurangkan garam, satu sudu dah cukup for sugar, and this is our healthy plate. This is on exercise, 10,000 steps a day. Okay, something on alcohol. Alcohol ranks number 3 as the risk factor, the cause of death and disease in the world. So these are the standard drink. That means when a person starts to drink, he only can take, this is samples of 1 standard drink. So if he drinks whiskey, he only can take two servings of 40 ml. Wine, also 2 servings of this much amount. Beer is 330 ml. This is equivalent to 1 can. So that means at this setting, that means in 1 day, he only can take 2 cans of beer. This is standard alcohol we can take in a day. Same, our local drink here, Montoku or Lihing is 80 ml. So this is the standard drink. We cannot drink more than this because this will affect our driving and this also will affect our health. Okay, I would like to share some incidents happened in Sabah due to drunk driving. This was a 10-year-old boy. This happened in March 2019, died while waiting to go to school because of a drunk driver. And the sad part, this drunk driver was the uncle, the father's brother. He was coming back after his drinks. This boy was waiting for his school bus and he was knocked down. Very pity. This another one, Sabah woman who killed 4 while drunk driving has been sentenced. This, if I'm not mistaken, this happened in Tawau. Also, in May, we had 2 cases of drunk driving in Sabah in 2019. But now I think the law is most stricter. It's 100,000 fine and certain amount of jail. So it's very sad. So alcohol causes more than 60 different types of illness. It affects from head to toe, all sorts of diseases you can get. Okay, this one, we, Sabah Health Department, we joined.
You need to wrap up in a few minutes, yeah.
Okay, sure. This 1 to last slides. Okay, we do have a program with Mercy Malaysia NGO. We put up this banner at KDCA Penempang during Pesta Keamatan 31st May. Drink responsibly. Get a right and stay alive. Don't drink and drive. So just awareness lah for the community. So they don't drink and drive. And we have this pusat rawatan ketagihan for all sort of alcohol, smoking, even drugs. In Sabah at the moment we only have in KK, Klinik Kesihatan Menggatau. So anyone can walk in to get to do an intervention. Then we will treat them accordingly. If they need to be referred to hospital, we will refer them to hospital. Okay, I think I'll stop here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nirma. As she was going through all the symptoms, I was reflexively checking myself for all this numbness and so on. Hopefully it's okay. I think the main message here is lifestyle does matter. So everybody should take care of their own health. And I think especially for elderly drivers, glycemia, it's perhaps a major concern. So let us next hear from Madam Janet David, who is the head of the safety unit in JPJ. But right before that, anybody who has questions, again, you may write it on the question and answer section or the chat section. Huh? And once again, please, Madam Janet.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, Dr. O. Tuan Haji Ramli Amir, the President CILT Malaysia, and Puan Siti Noraisha, Chair Sabah Section, all speaker and all participants today. Assalamualaikum, good morning. I hope you all fine today. Okay, I don't have a slide today to share with you, but I just want to begin with why should we talk about what is so important about accidents, about road safety, okay? Because according to the World Bank Transport notes in 2005, there is two costs involved when we are talking about the comprehensive road accidents. It is one, direct cost. The second one is indirect cost. Okay, first let us talk about the direct cost. Direct cost is something that we can see the moment we are having a we are having a crash or car accident. The things that involve is our emergency response team, the police, the ambulance. So that is one of the costs that is involved, because we are using our manpower, we are using our fund resources all to save the victims. Okay, that is first. Number two is the property damage. Property damage, our infrastructure, our signage, our road furniture, and so on. So that is property damage other than our own vehicles lah. Okay, and then the direct cost that is involved also in terms of administration lah, like insurance, police. Okay, the most important one is medical. I remember our DG last year when he talked about when he was having sidang media. You remember what is the statistic for COVID-19 today? He also raised about road accidents. Okay, because road accidents take a number of bed in hospital, utilize our blood bank, blood pack, and then utilizing our frontliners resources, manpower. Other than saving the COVID-19 patients treatment over there, they also have to treat the accident patient. So that is these accidents victims utilize a lot of our medical resources, and then lastly is the loss of output. Okay, when the victim died, we lost the productivity first. Okay, before pension sudah berhenti kerja, sudah tiada ganti. Okay, so we need another expert. We need to train a new expert who will be replacing the victim. Okay, so and then a family will be terjejas lah. Okay, taking care of the husband or the kids in hospitals. Okay, so there are a lot of factors that involving direct cost when accident or crash happens. But what is the indirect cost? In 2016, according to MIROS Malaysia, one loss because of crash lebih kurang 1,3 juta. Okay, if we reflect it in terms of money. But if I die in a road accident today, would you agree if I said Puan Janet cost is only about 1.3 million? Of course, we don't agree, because I have kids at home, I still have parents, I still have my staff here who needs me. Okay, so this is something that we need to look into lah. It is the indirect cost that is more important, the human the humanity, the quality of life. That one that we must protect. That more important, more than just money and cost. Okay, so that is why road safety is important. One perhaps said might said that is ajal maut, jodoh, semua itu di tangan Tuhan. Kenapa kita perlu mempersoalkan? No, I don't mean to mempersoalkan here, but like Dr. Nirmal said just now, kalau kita sudah ada sakit, kita kena pergi berubatkan. Okay, if we have a family member who is sick, kita akan marah kalau dia tidak pergi hospital. So kalau kita sudah berusaha, so we have to go lah. Jangan just okay, I will leave this house today unlock. Lepas tu kalau orang pencuri masuk, nasib lah. No, we have to usaha, tawakal first. Okay, don't just simply, oh, I will surrender myself in the center of the road. If I die, die lah. No, we have to take care of ourselves first. Okay, because we have a loved one at homes. Okay, that is number one. Why we are talking about road safety? Why JPJ now is talking about road safety? Okay, so I believe Tuan Superintendent already speak just now. Actually, looking at the statistic, the elderly is the I would say less involvement in accidents lah. Okay, because looking at the fatality and looking at the death statistic, actually the younger age is more dangerous. Okay, they are more threatened. The most numbers is from those age from 16 to 30 years old. This one yang baru masih student, baru dapat lesen ataupun baru dapat kerja kan. So dia orang ni masih jiwa muda, kurang sabar. So these are the age that easily involved in accidents. Okay, in fact, if we said, okay, we must limit the elderly or pregnant woman to be on the road to drive, actually, looking at the statistic, we should limit the numbers of the young driver also. Okay, but cannot, because these young drivers, they need to go to school, they need to go to UMS, UITM, they need to work kan. Sekarang lagi food panda semua kebanyakannya muda-muda. Okay, so looking at that, actually, I would like to stress again that the senior citizens is not the number one threat to us. Okay, because they are the most experienced driver already. They know already that no need to hurry. Okay, I will take my sweet time. But of course, at the other side, I also will get angry if there is someone very slow in front of me lah. Okay, so my advice to the even pregnant woman or elderly, even if they are men, not only women, please avoid the fast lane. Okay, if there is no hurry, so you can follow the left lane lah. Okay, or the slower lane. All right. So that is our concern in road safety. The involvement of the number of victim according to the age group lah. Okay, so lastly in my presentation, before I receive question, okay, 3 main factors contributing to road accidents. I give scenario in Sabah. In Sabah, when I do a campaign, road safety campaign, I always listen this complaint like this. I buatlah campaign keselamatan jalan raya, you bagilah flyer banyak-banyak, you buatlah video banyak-banyak pasal road safety, tapi kalau jalan raya kita buruk, tetap tak ada guna. Is it true? Yes, I agree. Jalan raya kita teruk. I agree, kan? You nak cakap jalan raya kita cantik? No, I don't agree, kan? But, okay, if you ask Tuan Superintendent, I believe he will give the different answer, different perspective. Because according to our statistic, police statistic, according to Myros also, the 3 main factors contributing to road accidents is not solely on the road. It is 80% because of humans or drivers' behavior. You believe it or not, it is because our behavior. On the road, saya mau cepat, saya stres dengan jam, saya marah dengan jalan macam ni, pen Borneo tidak siap-siap, kan, very stressful. Okay, so I nak cepat, memotong kiri, sekejap kiri, tapos hati, masuk lagi kanan. So that is our behavior. We are not a defensive driver, we are an aggressive driver. Okay, only 13% of the number of crash are caused because of road. Okay, because of road. And if you, kalau perasan kita tentang accident, bila kita dapat viral daripada WhatsApp, Facebook, please look very careful at the photo or the berita lah, okay? Because most of the accident normally will took place at the beautiful and straight road, not at the, bukan di tempat-tempat yang tidak sepatutnya. You remember the accident in Papar, I think if not last year, last 2 years. Okay, because my concern now is kalau Pen Borneo sudah siap, I also want Pen Borneo, I also want beautiful road like Semenanjung One kan. Okay, but my concern is kalau kita ada Pen Borneo, jalan raya kita semakin cantik, kita akan semakin laju, kita akan semakin selesa on the road. Okay, tetapi katalah jalan raya di Telupit itu makin cantik, kalau saya accident di Telupit, adakah di mana response team atau di mana medical ataupun health facility yang paling dekat? Adakah saya masih perlu pergi Sandakan, pergi Ranau, ataupun akan ada hospital baru di sana just because Pen Borneo sudah ada? Oh, accident akan bertambah, so di sini hospital akan bertambah. No. So kita punya response time itu masih lagi panjang. Okay, maksud saya, my point is, kalau kita accident di sana, kita masih lagi perlu seek treatment di tempat yang jauh, mungkin tidak akan sempat diselamatkan. So my point is, walaupun kita nanti ada jalan raya yang cantik, please, dia bukan, bukan lesson untuk kata kita boleh sudah laju selepas ini. Okay, I'm not sure lah kalau kita punya speed limit selepas ini sudah akan diubah ataupun macam mana. Okay, and then the last factors that contributing to crash accidents is vehicle, of course. Okay, the maintenance of the vehicles, okay, the puspakom failing inspection, and a lot more lah. So other than elderly and pregnant women, I think all categories, all drivers also must be aware of the basic maintenance of the car. At least check your car lah every day. Okay, the oil and then tire. Okay, the expiry date. Okay, that contributes to main factor. And then planning the journey also very important. Some said I prefer pulang kampung at night. Kita sekarang 2 bulan lagi mau raya. Hopefully boleh raya sudah. Okay. So some people they prefer at night because kalau malam dia tidak panas, okay, dia kurang kereta. But bear in mind, mungkin kalau malam berlaku apa-apa mungkin kurang orang yang akan datang dan assist if anything happen on the road. Okay, hospital pun mungkin banyak yang klinik pun mungkin banyak yang tutup, bengkel workshop mungkin banyak yang tutup. So yes, actually these are the main factors contributing to road accidents. Tadi Dr. Nirimal ada bercakap tentang alcohol. Yes, I agree. But if you look at the statistic, kebanyakan yang contribute to road deaths, cedera parah dan deaths lah ya, is the speed. The alcohol is actually just a minor number. The major number is because the speed kills. Okay, so I think that's it about now. So I go back to Dr. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Puan Janet, emphasizing the preciousness of life and the importance of preventing accidents from happening. I think she also, in a sense, opened a whole big can of worms, comparing the young versus the older drivers, as well as the role of speed. I mean, to drive too fast in causing accidents and so on. Now we will go into the question and answer session. I saw here there are 2 questions which have been raised by members of the audience. One is more directly related to the topic. The other one, I think we will put it more towards the end. Perhaps I actually start with Superintendent Zamzuri. Well, we have heard about your presentation and the other 2 presentations, but we still think the safety for, well, shall we say, senior female drivers and also pregnant mothers, they need to be addressed. I mean, the safety for these drivers. So in your opinion, what are some of the recommendations? What are some of your recommendations as to how female drivers, especially the senior ones, senior female drivers, as well as pregnant women, should go about in deciding whether to drive or not?
Thank you, Dr. Sebenarnya untuk operasi-operasi ataupun penguasaan yang kita buat selama ni bukanlah tertumpu hanya kepada warga emas ataupun wanita, terutama sekali wanita yang mengandung. Sebab dalam undang-undang pun sebenarnya kalau kita lihat silent bab umur untuk mendapatkan lesen memandu. So begitu juga dengan wanita yang mengandung, sebenarnya silent juga. So apa yang dibuat dalam undang-undang kita ni cukup lengkap sudah. Sekiranya wanita mengandung, sebagai contohlah saya buat, wanita mengandung, dia accident ataupun dia langgar orang, still dia salah. Begitu juga dengan warga emas, kalau dia memandu, dia langgar orang, still dia salah. So kita lihat balik lesen kesihatan mesti baik dan JPJ barulah luluskan. So saya rasa tak ada masalah bab-bab yang tumpuan kita untuk khusus kepada warga emas dan juga wanita mengandung. Cuma ada beberapa perkara yang perlu dititik beratkan oleh warga emas dan juga wanita-wanita bila nak mandu. Pertamanya kita, ini nasihatlah, saya bagi nasihat. Pertamanya kita lihat kepada diri kita sendiri. Lihat pada diri kita sendiri, tubuh badan kita sihat ke tidak semasa nak memandu. Elak memandu untuk jarak yang jauh bagi warga emas. Saya percaya saya sendiri pun bakal menjadi warga emas tak lama lagi, Tuan Haji. Bakal menjadi warga emas tak lama lagi. So kita nak cakap lebih-lebih bab warga emas pun kita tak tahu. Kadang-kadang kita yang muda ni pun tak sihat. Warga emas lebih sihat daripada kita. So kalau terasa diri kita tu tak sihat, eloklah jangan memandu malam. Sebab kadang-kadang fokus kita, jarak fokus kita tak boleh jauh. Yang ini bukan hanya warga emas saja, bukan saja wanita, tapi orang muda pun kadang-kadang bila dia ada masalah silau, untuk dia mandu waktu malam tu memang akan jadi masalah. Kadang-kadang kereta dah depan mata dah, sebab waktu malam ni lampu dia terang. Kereta ataupun motosikal dah depan mata baru kita dapat mengelak. Kemudian elakkanlah memandu waktu dalam keadaan cuaca buruk. Di Sabah ni kita lihat bila hujan, memang hujan lebat, terlalu lebat, dan kadang-kadang memang selalu banjir lah. Every year memang akan banjir. So elakkanlah, elakkan juga gangguan ketika memandu. Yang saya sebut elak gangguan ketika memandu ni, waktu itulah on call, kita nak angkat telefon, kita nak baca GPS, kita nak tengok Waze. Yang ini semua faktor-faktor yang mengganggu konsentrasi kita waktu memandu. Okey, maksudnya kenderaan yang kita dah cek, air kita dah cek, minyak hitam kita dah cek, kita rasa kenderaan tu memang sesuai untuk digunakan. Saya berpengalaman melihat kenderaan-kenderaan di Sabah ni, kadang-kadang kita lihat, jangan kata bonet pun tak ada, berada atas jalan. Saya pernah jumpa. So kita nasihatkan kenderaan ni ialah orang kampung. Saya percaya orang kampung di Sabah ni banyakkannya kenderaan-kenderaan datang daripada pendalaman. So kita nasihatkan supaya kenderaan ni tak dibawa ke atas jalan, berbahaya kepada yang lain. Di samping individu yang memandu, penumpang pun memainkan peranan sebenarnya untuk memastikan pemandu ini fokus. Saya pun kadang-kadang kalau memandu, kalau perjalanan 2 jam bercakap tak berhenti-henti pun masalah juga. Kita akan kurang tumpuan. Masalah tu. Kita akan kurang tumpuan. Begitu juga dengan perkara yang timbul. Kadang-kadang kita ada masalah peribadi, penumpang pula bangkitkan, rumah gaduh dengan rumah macam mana? Okey ke tak? Kadang-kadang akan timbul stres tu dan hilang fokus kita untuk memandu. Banyak perkara yang kita perlu lihat semasa kita mandu ataupun semasa berada bersama penumpang. Dan saya setuju dengan apa yang dikatakan oleh Puan Janet tadi. Kadang-kadang faktor jalan ni bukanlah penyumbang utama sebenarnya berlaku kemalangan. Kita dulu di Malaysia, bukan kata di Sabah saja, di Malaysia dulu jalan lagi teruk dulu, zaman dulu. Tapi kemalangan kurang. Pasal apa? Apabila jalan sekarang dah makin cantik, contoh di Semenanjung saya ambil, contoh di Marak-Parak. Memang jalan tu cantik. Mungkin disebabkan kurang kenderaan lalu ataupun kurang kenderaan berat yang lalu di lokasi itu. Tetapi jarang sekali kemalangan berlaku di situ. Kita lihat pula di Kalabakan. Jalan berlubang-lubang. Ada yang macam nak masuk gaung pun ada. Kurang berlaku kemalangan di situ. Sebab apa? Fokus pemandu. Pemandu tahu jalan tu jalan tak sesuai untuk bawa laju. Itu sebabnya saya setuju kata Puan Janet tadi tu, berkenaan dengan faktor muka bumi ataupun faktor jalan ni bukanlah salah satu penyumbang. Tetapi sikap pemandu itu sendiri. Kadang-kadang dia tengok jalan cantik, saya percaya Pen Borneo nanti apabila sudah siap dan dah dibuka, disemikan, akan wujudlah pelumba-pelumba jalan raya yang kita panggil sekarang kita panggil sebagai samsing jalanan. Samsing jalanan bermain di dalam pusat bandar saja. Sebagai contoh di aeroport, yang mana setiap minggu kami jalankan operasi di situ, memang kita ada buat penahanan. Jadi ada juga last kali saya tengok pada faktor sekeliling. Faktor sekeliling ni sebagai contohlah saya ambil. Kalau saya nak pergi ke contoh saya nak pergi rumah saudara saya di Papar. Every time dia akan call bila nak sampai. So kadang-kadang fokus tu akan hilang. Jadi itulah saya punya pendapat peribadi saya berkenaan dengan pemandu warga emas dan juga nasihat saya pada pemandu warga emas dan juga wanita-wanita, sebab benda ni umum. Baru kita nampak behavior sebagai pemandu ni kadang-kadang mengganggu juga dan boleh menyebabkan kemalangan. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think the superintendent said it very well. Attitude does matter, and also even sometimes the behavior of those who accompany the drivers. We should not unduly try to disturb them while they are driving. Now, the next question is from the audience, and I think it could apply equally well to both Dr. Nirmal and also Puan Janet. The question is, should we, in a sense, set a maximum age limit for elderly women to be allowed to drive? I think elderly men as well. Should we have a maximum age limit, number one? And number two, for pregnant women, should we also set a limit? For example, if they are in their third trimester, they should not drive, and so on. So perhaps Dr. Nirmal, you could first take this.
Okay, as you mentioned, is for elderly women and men.
Yeah, you
maximum,
can turn on your
maximum.
Video. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Maximum age limit. Yes, I agree. As far as till today, there's no maximum age limit in Malaysia, right? Everyone can drive. Tun M also drives at 96. Yes. Okay. So yes, I agree that should be a maximum age limit and subject to some medical examination, eye checkup, hearing checkup, and simple medical examination. Blood pressure and the sugar level should be included for them to renew their license, driving license.
Oh, wow. So yeah, so should have some sort of medical component to it, huh?
Yes, yes, not just go to JPJ and keep renewing your license every year. And now you can renew for 5 years, 3 years. No, I think there should be, this is for our higher levels to think about it. Like policymakers should consider this to reduce the accident. And for pregnant mothers, at the moment, there's no law, there's no policy to exempt them from driving. But from what I know, those pregnant mothers, once they reach third trimester, they can opt for 1 hour earlier to leave the office so that they don't get stuck in the jam. That is allowed in Malaysia.
Okay.
I'm not
okay.
sure about the public sector, but I know the government sector, pregnant mothers in the third trimester can, with the approval of the head of the department, they can leave 1 hour earlier from work so that they don't get stuck in the jam. And one more thing important for these pregnant mothers is the way they wear the seat belt is very important. So because of the gravid uterus, the lower belt should be right below the abdomen, not across the abdomen, right below. And the other belt which come across the shoulder should be between their breasts. They should be comfortable wearing the seat belt when they drive. That is very important.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Nirmal. Madam Janet, you are the JPJ.
Yeah. So thank you, moderator. So as we all know, in Malaysia, we do not have the maximum age limit when it comes to having a driving license. It's like we can drive all lifelong. Similarly, we also do not impose any limit on pregnant women. But of course, there are some limitations due to physical development or changes. Okay. Therefore, since there is no age limit, we only have the minimum, which is 16 years for motorcycles and 17 years old for motorcar. Then how do we know when it is time to surrender the car keys? Okay, because according to the, like I mentioned just now, only 14% of the statistic involving those age 61 and above. If 61 is, I assume the senior citizens is referring to age 61 and above lah. Okay, and the highest group are those from 16 years old, which is about 47%. So looking back at the statistic, we probably could say that one also might need to surrender their car keys earlier. Okay, if they are found unfit. Okay. But of course, there are a lot of factors contributing to safety of elderly driver. I agree with Dr. Nirmal. Health and fitness are the most crucial things that need to be taken care of, especially when you are driving almost every day. In fact, mental health is no less important, since it is known that our brain is actually the most important tool when we are behind the wheel. Okay, being elderly driver first, we agree that they already, like I said just now, they already enough experience. They know how that full focus is important. They know that being slower and far distance from other vehicles will increase their chances to avoid crash and increase their response if there is emergency case in front. Okay. And as they are getting older, the major factor why they are driving become less. At young age, like I mentioned earlier, just now, we need to commute to workplace. Okay, we need to send children to school, to care center, and then after that, do some grocery shopping, etc., etc. But after retired, children have grown up and have their own transport. Our duty as a driver become less, and the number of hours we spend on the road also, which is the most dangerous place on any side of the earth, also become less. And the law is simple. The lesser the time you expose yourself on the road, then the chances of getting involved in crash also decrease. However, not all elderly women drivers or even male drivers got the privilege to retire early from driver's duty as the others. For example, I am working in Bundusan, but my kids school in Tuaran. So their akki, their grandfather will send and fetch them from school. So if we set limit on some age, sedangkan that someone is still very fit and declared or are certified by medical practitioner that he or she is still fit, I think there is no harm to allow them on road just for perhaps short distance. Okay. And then some of us still have a business to run, a daily routine to do. And in this case, yes, you should go back and check your level of health and ask yourself honestly also lah, are you still fit to drive? Are you on medication? Are you still having a sharp focus, clear vision, eyesight during night or rainy day? Because just now Tuan Superintendent also mentioned we need to be extra careful di Sabah ini bila hujan lebat. And then one thing is, are you capable of handling stress in any unwanted situation? Our roads are getting busier more. Jam here and there. Can you cope with that? Driving back from workplace, perhaps with unfinished stuff, list of things that urgent and need to be submitted tomorrow some more. Okay, we probably will be easily distracted. Bear in mind that in 2018, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Nirmal, according to the report by the Borneo Post, a survey conducted by Ministry of Health in 2015 shows that Sabah recorded the highest number of mental health issue in Malaysia. So whether you are a housewife, a nurse, a teacher, a government servant like me, whatever we are doing, we have our own weaknesses. But why should we talk about this now? Because the topic today, I think, is not just about driver. I think this is also a platform where women empower other women, empower each other. In other words, how can and how should we protect each other? Of course, it's just not about the drivers, but also the environment, the road, the car, and the other vehicles and driver as well. So yes, for example, some of our car, we have star rating. That's why some people they prefer the double cabin truck, because most of that type of car, the big car, they have a 5-star rating. Okay, and also most of the roads are not forgiving road as well. So being an elderly car drivers or even motorcyclists, there is perhaps one point that we might not see others or other drivers or other cyclists did not see us. Yes, sometimes we think wide rear view mirrors and parking sensors might help senior citizens, but the truth is competency and focus are the main keys whenever we are behind the wheels. When we get older, our ability to respond to certain things takes a longer time, and we try to adjust ourselves more. Okay, and then also we might need to take a break after sometimes. So for me, as long as yes, for the time being, there is no age limit, maximum age limit to renew your license. But for me, I agree with Dr. Nirmal. As long as medical practitioner certified that you are fit to be on the road, yes, I think no problem or no harm to just renew your license. But at the same time, give honest answer to the clinic where you go, and be honest with yourself lah. When you are on the road, can you take care of yourself? Not only yourself, but also other people. Okay, because we don't want you to become the source of the source of dangerous situation on the road. Remember, road is supposed to be a safe place for all, but just because of one unethical driver, then others are affected. So back to you, Dr. Oh.
Thank you very much, Puan Janet. I think the consensus between Dr. Nirmal and Puan Janet would be, for example, there should be some sort of medical checkup or some sort of examination of the mental acuity or focus of the particular senior driver and so on, right? So now,
Dr.
yes.
maybe if you can just give me a minute, yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I think note that there must be some form of real concern by the authorities in that generally, of course, Dr. M is a classic example which cannot be followed now. But to me, anybody above 70 should get a medical card before they can get their license renewed. I think, but I'm sure those who are fit will not have any problem in going to their doctors and their doctors certifying them as fit to drive. I think that sort of what do you call it, trend, I think is something which is, I think, should be welcomed by everybody. But secondly, I would like to touch on the problem on, since 80% of accident is because of kita punya sikap, kan? Our attitude. How much have we actually gone in to put this into our education system, right? Of course, our curriculum does have civic, does have all this, but penekanan dia tu sejauh mana, and how much of penekanan do we put in there, right? So perhaps this is, I'm not too sure what the school curriculum is, because I don't have small going children except for cucu lah. But of course, the cucu, the mother, father take care lah. But on a lighter note, it is also good to note that we at CILT is having something like called a safety school project. So I hope I will bring this to our committee, that because it not only affects children. So when they grow big, right, they become elders, they become expectant mothers, right? So benda-benda yang diorang belajar nanti dalam kelas, hopefully will remain with them, and they can discipline themselves to get through with whatever they have been taught when they were small. Because teaching from small is the best thing that can last for life. Yeah. That's all, Dr. O.
Thank you, Tuan Haji. Now, there are actually quite a number of questions, but these questions are actually quite general. They concern transport, they concern driving, but not necessarily senior women drivers and pregnant mothers. But in any case, I would just share them with, for example, Tuan Superintendent and also Madam Janet. For example, there are these concerns about so-called lesen terbang. I think that means illegal driving license. And for the questioner here, he or she thinks that this contributes a lot to our accidents. So they want to ask both of you, JPJ and police, what do you do to try to reduce the amount of this lesen terbang? Perhaps we start with Tuan Superintendent.
Lesen terbang dia kalau ikut pada perundangan yang sedia ada, saya lesen terbang ni saya rasa elok Puan Janet yang bercakap berkenaan dengan lesen terbang. Cuma untuk pihak kami lebih kepada lesen palsu. Lesen terbang ni yang saya faham dulu, lesen terbang.
Okay, we are loose.
No comment lah. Tetapi apa yang kita lihat di Sabah, banyak wujudnya lesen-lesen palsu. Apa yang kita boleh ambil tindakan ke atas pemilik lesen palsu ni, kita akan tahan di bawah Seksyen 108 kalau saya tak silap Akta Pengangkutan Jalan 1987, yang mana mereka melakukan kesalahan di bawah Seksyen di bawah menggunakan lesen palsu. So hukuman itu kalau tak silap saya 5,000 minimum ke 10,000 maksimum, atau boleh juga dipenjara maksimum dia 1 tahun. Selain daripada lesen, eloklah saya masukkan juga sebab penguasaan yang kita buat selama ni oleh trafik Sabah ni, kita juga menjumpai banyak kenderaan-kenderaan yang mana plate number ditukar. Yang ini tak boleh dinafikan. Orang tukar plate number ni hanya untuk mengelak daripada bayaran loan bank. Tetapi dalam masa yang sama, apabila speeding dijalankan, operasi speeding, operasi tembak laju dijalankan, kita tembak kenderaan tu yang telah tukar nombor plate, pemilik asal sebenarnya tu kena saman. Pemilik asal yang nombor plate ditukarkan tu sebenarnya dia yang kena saman. Dan itulah yang berlaku di Sabah. Kadang-kadang kita tembak plate di Sabah, di Semenanjung akan buat report, iaitu owner asal. Dia akan buat report polis tu. Mengatakan bukan dia kenderaan dia berada di Semenanjung, bukan di Sabah. Kadang-kadang ada nombor plate di Sabah, guna di Sabah, tetapi contohnya orang sandakan plate dia tetapi guna di KK, sedangkan dia kata dia tak pernah sampai KK kenderaan itu. Yang ini yang saya nak tekankan, di Sabah banyak berlaku dan tindakan telah kita ambil, sama juga seperti mana 108 APJ 97 tu. Dan di samping tu juga lesen palsu ni juga, kalau dijumpai oleh mana-mana polis yang lain, selain daripada trafik, dia juga boleh dikenakan di bawah kanun kesesaan. Saya dulu pernah tangkap di bawah, kita buka di bawah penipuan 420 KK, dan juga kita pernah juga tangkap dan cas di mahkamah di bawah pemalsuan dokumen Seksyen 468 471. So benda ni bukanlah benda yang mudah, benda yang dianggap remeh, tetapi jika dilihat betul-betul, dianya adalah satu kesalahan, dan tindakan tegas telah pun diambil, akan ambil ke atas mereka yang membuat benda-benda macam ni. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Puan Janet, apparently there's a difference between palsu and terbang. So perhaps you can talk about the terbang part.
All right. Thank you, Dr. O. Actually, in JPJ here, I'm not in the position to answer about this, but this is just my personal comment, yeah? Okay. So, in what I see in JPJ is we already have this, one is unit integrity. The unit integrity is supposed to screen all this, in civil service term, we call it penyalahgunaan kuasa or penyelewengan. Okay, so this is something new, and our new Director General in JPJ, also in Putrajaya, is very keen to work closely together with SPRM to hunt those who perhaps involved in this so-called lesen terbang industry. Okay, because I believe there is macam scammer, dia orang ini dia sangat-sangat kreatif, making money, it's a business kan. But I believe kalau kita ada information yang tepat, information yang cukup, aduan yang tepat, yang dan siasatan berjaya, I think ini yang JPJ sudah buat sebenarnya to overcome or reduce this problem. Actually, it's already in progress. And then yang saya nampak sekarang, kita memang betul-betul main peranan to orang cakap supaya elemen-elemen ini, ruang dan peluang ini tidak ada di JPJ. So that's what I can see when I come into JPJ. Okay. But of course, with cooperation of other people, public, kalau ada pengeluar-pengeluar lesen terbang ini ataupun lesen palsu ini, just give the information to police or JPJ. I believe we will take action. Okay. And then I would like to answer or comment about Tuan Haji Ramli Amir punya sejauh mana penekanan diberi terhadap education. Okay. Yes, I believe from time to time the syllabus in curriculum buku pemandu in driving school actually being revised according to the needs and requirements of government and also road safety situation in Malaysia. But of course, certain things, especially those involving policies, may take time because of the survey, planning, pro and con, funding, and etc. etc. Actually, the KPP itself, the buku pemandu itself already contain all the rules and guidelines that generally cater all types and categories of drivers. Okay, from young age to elder to pregnant woman and so forth lah. It's just the matter of how someone deliver and receive the message, and then how do they apply it in real situation. In my humble opinion, looking at the current scenario, I do agree that there is something greater more than just driving syllabus. It's how we develop our community with the right attitude while driving on road. It's how we develop our road safety culture, because in Malaysia, road safety is not a culture yet. Okay, it's how we can fully control our behavior on road. It's come together with the right mindset and not just copy paste from what we see others are doing. How our parents driving previously. So that's why starting in 2018, I think this is the kejayaan yang besar lah. Okay, we have this collaboration between Ministry of Transport and Ministry of Education with strong support from MIROS. We already improvised the road safety module through Bahasa Melayu subject in secondary school, primary school, and last year preschool. Not only in government school, but also in private school. So I hope mothers who join today are aware of this. Okay. Back to the question, even if the content for expectant mothers and elderly drivers is being added in driving school syllabus, I still believe that education and action by example since early age is still the most crucial part in shaping the future drivers that we want. Okay, so for me, whether or not you are pregnant, and if panjang umur, we also become old. Once you are on the road, you must comply all the rules and regulation and try our best to make the road safer, not only for yourself but also for other road user. Okay, because we are sharing the road, so it is everyone's responsibility to make it a safer place. So I hope this can clear the air that actually our education system already consists this element. The road safety is now being stressed in our Bahasa Melayu subject from preschool until PMR or until Form 3 school, from Form 3 classes. Okay, it's already there actually. Just the matter of how our teachers can deliver it, and how the students will receive it, and how they see, of course, how they see their parents or drivers act in real situation. Because our kids, they absorb information like a sponge. Perhaps the teacher teach this, but when the way they say they see their parents driving are like that, so maybe a little bit confusion. So this is where teachers and parents must go mesti sama-sama lah bertanggung jawab. Okay, kena ambil tahu apa anak-anak kita belajar di sekolah, so that we can give a good example also. Alright.
Thank you, Puan Janet, for emphasizing the importance of parents setting good example to young kids in terms of, for example, driving behavior. The next question goes to Dr. Nirmala, because I think this is somewhat medically related. Is there a difference in terms of gender? Now, this is a bit sensitive. Is there a difference in terms of gender in relation to the age for drivers? For example, such as the effects on aging on the body, decreases in the reaction time, in flexibility, and so on. Is there a difference between male and female drivers when they get older? And you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, aging is a process all human beings have to go through, irrespective of the sex. So all of us, we age lah. Okay, so male and female, we age similarly lah, according to studies lah. What we should be aware of is as we age, our joint movement becomes stiffer, become less flexible, and also osteoporosis sets in. So we might have shrunk a bit, we become hunchback a bit. So this might affect our driving, the way we sit, the position when we are driving. So I think as a responsible driver, we should judge ourselves lah. If you don't have any medical problem, but due to age, your flexibility has reduced, don't drive. Get someone, someone to drive you lah. But there's no gender difference when it becomes to age. When we comes to aging lah, we all age similarly.
Okay. Okay, then I think perhaps in the interest of time, the last question here, and again, this is more a general question, and I have some personal experience on this, so I want to bring up this question. So one of the participants asked that, well, as Tuan Superintendent mentioned the role of motorcycle cyclists, right? Sometimes the incidence of accidents are higher, perhaps involving motorcycles. So this participant, he saw that sometimes motorcycles, they are riding alongside with a car in a single lane, or sometimes those motorcycles, they are riding in between two cars, in between two lanes. So his question is, are these allowed? Is it legal to drive in the single lane? You drive along with a car like that? Or you drive on the, I think on the marking lah, And also I personally observe is this, sometimes when I want to cross the road and I press the crossing button, so all the cars will stop, but the motorcycle, as if they are not cars, will still pass by just like that. It's very dangerous to me. So I want to ask Tuan Superintendent and then perhaps Madam Janet about all this. Are they legal to do that? Could something be done about them? Thank you.
Thank you, Doktor. Saya rasa ini lebih kepada sikap behavior penunggang itu sendirilah. Sepatutnya macam pandemik juga ni. Bila kita menunggang, saya pun penunggang motosikal juga. Pasal pun nak cari masalah menunggang sebelah kereta, sepatutnya macam pandemik juga kita jaga jarak. Jaga jarak motosikal kita, kalau boleh duduk lane tepi sekali. Kalau seperti mana yang doktor bagi tahu tadi tu, dia menunggu. Apabila dia menunggang di sebelah bas contoh di lebuh raya, bila bas, angin daripada bas tu sebenarnya dia akan tarik motor tu untuk rapat dengan dia. Ini yang saya pernah alami sendiri. Saya menunggang di lorong motosikal ni di jalan, tepi jalan. Bas potong, secara tidak langsung saya akan tertarik ke bas tu. Yang ini yang kita kena tengok balik. Dan motosikal yang menunggang di celah-celah kenderaan. Di celah-celah kenderaan, pastikanlah laluan yang dia nak lalu tu, kadang-kadang jalan jam, saya faham, tak ada masalah. Jalan jam, dia nak lalu, dia kena potong, tak ada masalah. Tetapi kalau sikap dia memotong saja-saja, buat zigzag, potong kereta ni, potong kereta sana, automatik dia telah melakukan kesalahan di bawah Seksyen 42. Memandu secara melulu, menunggang secara melulu. Sama jugalah dengan kenderaan. Kenderaan kalau dia memotong kiri kanan untuk motong ke depan, secara tak langsung dia telah melakukan kesalahan di bawah Seksyen 42. Dan apabila kita nampak, kita buat ID, automatik boleh kena tahan dan boleh dituduh di mahkamah. Saya rasa tak ada masalah. Kalau jalan jam, kita memotong secara biasa tak apa. Tapi kadang-kadang sikap kita ni, kita bawa laju, tengah-tengah antara kereta, pernah berlaku kemalangan, maut. Yang mana motosikal, dia menunggang antara celah-celah kenderaan, kenderaan tu berhenti, buka pintu, langgar pintu, maut di tempat kemalangan. Di tempat kejadian pun ada. Kadang-kadang kenderaan ubah lokasi, motosikal langgar maut di tempat kejadian pun ada. Benda-benda ni jadikan sebagai sebagai pengajaran lah kepada kita semua untuk mengelakkan daripada melakukan perkara sebegini. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you. Anything to add, Puan Janet?
Okay, biasanya for motorcyclists, actually the rules is one lane, one driver, including the motorcycle. But sadly, the situation is not like that in Sabah or in Malaysia. Sebab macam Tuan Superintendent cakap tadi, bila jam, yes, dia akan zigzag, dia akan menyelit sana sini. But that is our responsibility actually. That's why we educate, we try to reach as many as motorcyclists as possible. We try to advocate and we try to do advocacy and educate them that they have to take care of themselves, because we, especially we women driver, we need to take care of ourselves too on the road. Okay, so you imagine kita jaga diri kita, sama kita jaga lagi motorcycle, so it's quite unfair. So sepatutnya sama-sama kena jaga diri sendiri. It's not, don't assume that, oh, the car drivers will see me. No, we have our own blind spot. Your left side is your biggest blind spot. Okay, so the motorcycles must be aware that we have our limitation too. We cannot always see them, especially during rainy days or at night or even early morning. Okay, so motorcycle ini dia punya waktu-waktu kematian kebanyakannya masa dia pergi kerja pagi dan masa dia balik dari sekolah petang-petang pukul 2, pukul 4, dan masa dia balik daripada kerja biasanya 6 hingga 8 malam. Because macam inilah situasi dia suka menyelit, dia suka bergerak di tengah-tengah. But not all motorcycle like that. Okay, ada yang dia cukup hati-hati, kalau sebelah itu kenderaan besar, bas atau lori, dia akan perlahan. Tetapi jarang, in my observation memang jarang. Okay, because I think they assume that car drivers will take care of them, will see them, will give way to them. Selalu bila saya balik Tuaran, saya tengok bila ambulans dengan dia punya siren bunyi, ambulans laju, kita bagi ambulans pas, dia punya belakang semua motosikal pecut. What if saya tidak perasan, lepas tu saya masuk lorong saya balik and saya telang motorcycle. Okay, so that is one of the situation. So what we do now is, Tuan Superintendent ada cakap tadi, mereka yang paling ramai mati ini 60% adalah motorcyclist. Tetapi of course bukan semua itu salah motorcycle. Kebanyakan yang mati ini biasanya berlanggar dengan pacuan 4 roda. Jadi kepada pemandu pacuan 4 roda, be extra careful with motorcycle. Bukan semua salah motorcycle juga, okay? Tapi itulah apa yang kita buat adalah to educate the motorcycle. Even from school, kita akan emphasize more on motorcycle. Kita akan cari siapa yang bawa illegal motorcycle pergi sekolah. Okay, siapa yang memang parents tidak boleh hantar, tetapi parents izinkan anak-anak ini menunggang sendiri ke sekolah. Dia sudah dapat lesen atau tidak? Sebab near distance bukan jaminan yang dia akan safe from accident. Dia mungkin safe, tetapi orang lain mungkin tidak safe. What about pedestrian, kan? Okay, jadi ini adalah kepada semua yang ada pada hari ini, sama-sama sampaikan kepada motorcyclist, kepada relatif yang selalu menunggang motosikal ini, be extra careful because you are the highest statistic yang menyumbang kepada road accidents punya death. Okay, jadi saya rasa itu saja. Back to you, Dr. Oh.
Well, thank you, Puan Janet. In the interest of time, I think we have to almost call an end to this webinar. Well, as all of you would know, the Charter Institute of Logistics and Transport, by its very name, concerns itself with transport and logistics. And of course, road transport is a very important component of what our members are doing. So today we explore the topics of safety and health awareness for senior women drivers as well as pregnant women drivers. But of course, later on, we expanded it to include more general concerns about road safety in Malaysia, which I hope is of, well, common concerns to all our CILT members. I think all of us who participated in this seminar, I think we learned a lot today from the three distinguished speakers, Tuan Superintendent Zamzuri, Dr. Nirmal Kaur, and Madam Janet David. And just now, our committee would like me to convey a message to all three of you. We hope to welcome you to become also members of CILT, because in a sense, all of you would have something to do with the safety and security of transport as well as logistic professionals. I think very soon some of our colleagues will contact you to welcome you into our family. With that, once again, I would like to thank especially our co-organizers, the two ladies who are working hardest to make sure this webinar is a success, namely Puan Rufina and Dr. Shida, my colleagues from CILT Sabah Section. Thanks also to our national president, Tuan Haji Ramli Amil, who also, by the way, is from Sabah, and also our Sabah Section chairperson, Puan Siti Noraiza Azizan. So, well, thanks again for joining us in this very first webinar of CILTM Sabah Section, and I would look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you.